Hi everyone, I've written about this. Time to do the talk. It is just a cautionary post, a gentle reminder about certain behavior that is not welcome. Men, respect yourself. Ladies, equally respect yourself. Don't respond to every phone call, persistent phone calls, persistent texts. If he phones, we are not replying consistently, phone, and he's not giving up, he can't be bothered, he doesn't understand that he's pushing boundaries, beyond boundaries even. In other words, his phone calls, his text messages are totally unwelcome by the recipient. The recipient is the person receiving those calls. The culprit is the person consistently phoning you, sending unanswered text messages, totally unwelcome. Ladies, if it continues, respect yourself, maintain your steez. Time to tell the wife. Keep all the evidence. Unanswered phone calls, take a screenshot. If it's video calls, take a screenshot. Text, phone calls, keep all the evidence. Make sure. I'm saying the wife must know when he continues to harass you. It is an harassment where it's totally uninviting. In other words, it's not welcome. She's not responding to your text. She's not responding to your phone calls. You are continuously texting her, calling her, she's not responding. It constitutes an harassment. I'm not too sure to bring in sexual harassment because that cannot be proven. But if you continuously phone someone who is not responding, it constitutes an harassment and it is illegal in the UK. Whether you come from Nigeria on a visit and you do this, but a lot of this thing boils on ignorance. It's just ignorant men who don't understand or lack social skill. They feel because they are men, they are men, that is sufficient ground for them to harass women. It is completely wrong. It constitutes harassment and it must be stopped. How do we deal with this? There are ways you can deal with this. You talk to him, let him know it is an harassment, but from experience, I've dropped my hints and they're not going away. I'm not the only one. It happens to women. I've had this conversation with several women, not just married women, because there are married men who are after married women, and there are married men who are after single women out there. This harassment is totally unwelcome, and they persist. They continue to harass women, and completely wrong. That's why, if you have evidence, submit it to your wives. How do you know the wife? Well, this particular podcast is for those the wives, because I've been subjected to a lot since my husband passed. I have been subjected a lot. It's 4 years, actually 4 years yesterday when my husband passed away, unfortunately passed away. And I had harassment from his friends, his so-called close friends. They've now gone quiet. I have harassment from some past people who were part of my life in the past before I got married. That equally is dying away. And I have harassment from, and all these men are married. It's not because they're not married. They are married and they know it's wrong. But because they've had it so easy with other women, they feel they should try, a bit of luck and see they will continuously be lucky in hitting and run, because that's what they do. They don't love you. They have their wife at home. So don't even try it and believe and allow them access to your wife, because they lie to you. They tell lies. That's what they do. They tell lies. Do not give them any access. They don't like me posting this because a lot of them have actually run away. That's a fact. They are no longer responding to my posts. Well, not like posts, like not when they don't engage in my posts. They know. I address this, consistently. I have, and I continue addressing it. So for those women who allow them easy access to their life, knowing he's married, A few know the wives and say continue. It is wrong. It is 100% absolutely wrong. There is absolutely no excuse to encourage such affairs because it's using you. It's using you for so many reasons. You may not know it. You could be carried away by a stupid sentiment. No, dear. Self-esteem is the key. Respect yourself. Maintain your steez. If you don't respect yourself, he's not going to respect you. He's not going to take advantage of you. The reason why it comes around to you is because you make it accessible for him, very easy for him to use. You walk out of the door, back to his wife, and then you welcome him back again. What do you even call that kind of relationship? Because he's a married man. He's not your boyfriend. You can't even call him your boyfriend. What exactly do you call him except a bed mate? Certain women need peace, not pervert. Harmony, happiness, not headache. We need divine blessing, not drama. These are things we need. These are virtues. These are values. There are women who respect themselves. There are women who live in peace. They don't want any drama in their life. They don't want to interfere in someone else's marriage. For those of you who encourage it, in other words, you openly have an affair with a married man, shame on you. Because you wouldn't like anyone to do that to you. There is absolutely no reason to doing that. The moment you discourage these men, then they will stop. The reason why they are flying up and down, looking for a quick fix or a quick hit and run, is because you encourage them. They keep coming to you, hit and run, run back to your wife, and the next thing they turn up again and you encourage them. You need to stop. I'm using this podcast because yesterday I had a phone call and I was very, very busy indeed. And it's persistently from the same person I've not replied. And he's a married man and he knows I know the wife. And it's completely wrong. These men thought they could use me whenever they are in London on holidays, where to stay, free accommodation, free food, free everything. I didn't give them any chance. I'm not stupid. Why would I entertain a married man in my home? They tried, one or two tried, they've gone quiet. They come to you as a substitute. So if you allow them access, you are a second option. In other words, they go there to rest. That's what they do. They turn your home to a rest house if you're not careful. And a lot of women have done this to them. So that's all I have to say. Have a nice day.